Alright guys, and welcome back for a new review. Today we're going to take a look at the ThreeZero, The Walking Dead, Rick Grimes 1/6 scale collectible figure. Just got this one in the mail today. Really pretty excited to get it. Haven't really picked up a figure in nearly a year. Comes in this cellophane wrap, so you know it's sealed. This is the same way the pets came when I got them, and this is just the third figure in the series from ThreeZero. Like I mentioned, the pets were the first two, Pets 1 and Pets 2, and about 3 years later, finally Rick Grimes. Very late, but very welcome. So I'm going to tear this open and give you guys a better look at Rick Grimes. Alright, moving on with the opening of the figure. Ripped off the cellophane, and it's a magnetic clasp on this sheet. So you just open it up, and you get a bit of a look at the figure. It is wrapped in a bag, so with that, you really can't get a good look at the face on the figure. But I thought I'd just show you what he looks like in package, and give you a little bit of a better look at the rest of the packaging. Does got this blood splattered Rick Grimes. You got his name, Rick Grimes, there in bolded and gloss. More of the same. Picture of him from, looks like about the prison era of the prison. It does not come with that outfit. But enough of the box. I'm going to go ahead and crack this open. Alright guys, well here he is out of the package. Give you a brief overview of the whole figure. Spin him around. Give you the 360 look. So let's go ahead and get started by focusing on the head sculpt, which is the main attraction here. So I really think they did an excellent job sculpting Andrew Lincoln as Rick Grimes. It's a very good sculpt and a very good paint job. It really captures that season 5 look. They've done a nice job with the skin texture and the hair color too. Kind of zoom in on that a little bit more. Get a look at the blood work that they've done on the side of the head. The skin texture. Notice how the beard has a bit of gray in it. I think he does have a little bit more gray in it these days, but still a pretty good representation of his look from season 5 for sure. They've captured a pretty good look, I think, here. Panning out from that, the outfit's really well done. The jacket's pretty nice, gotta say. You know, it's got that dirty, grimy look. It's got a nice broken in leather feel to it. It feels, you know, very worn. You could see around the collar area here. You know, it's got that grimy look. He's definitely been wearing it for a while. T-shirt's kind of, I don't know, not too impressive. It's just a t-shirt, but not the greatest work on that. It just doesn't seem to hang right on the figure, but it's pretty thin material too. Getting down into the belt, I think that's pretty nicely done. You got the holster for the Colt Python 357. Belt's got a weathered look to it. Very soft rubber feel to it. So that looks pretty nice. When you get around to the back, got some extra pouches. I'm going to check those out. Yep, I'm pretty sure they're full with extra rounds for the revolver. You can actually kind of spy them out there. And that's the handcuff case, which I believe is empty. But I'll get into all of that in the accessory portion. The pants themselves, you can see it's pretty beat up and weathered. These look really nice. They definitely look all scuffed up and worn. That's some pretty nice detail there. And then we'll take a closer look at the boots. Pretty nice work on the Cowboy boots. They got a pretty soft, rubbery feel to them. Realistic looking sole. So pretty nice work there on the outfit. I think it came out pretty well. T-shirt's the only weak point on it, but again, it's just a t-shirt, so really doesn't make a big deal. Overall outfit is really nice. All right, we're going to go ahead and get into the accessories. All right, guys, so here's the accessories that you get with Rick Grimes. He came with the relaxed hands on the figure. You get a pair of 2 gripping hands. So you could use that for the machete. And of course, the trigger hand, which seems to be really more well suited for the AK-47 than the revolver due to that grip, which is unfortunate. They really should have gave a hand specific to the revolver. Speaking of the revolver, of course you can't have Rick Grimes without the Colt Python. Pretty nice detail on this. It's got the rotating barrel. You can kind of make out the bullets inside the unit in the chamber. Doesn't really seem to want to pop out, so I wouldn't fool with that too much. And the hammer is in a fixed position, so that is non-movable. Pretty nice. With that, you also get the reload, quick reload. The bullets is nice. There's actually 2 of these. I only took 1 out of the pouches. They come, when you receive the figure, inside the pouches already. So a lot of people might miss that little detail. Of course, the red-handled machete. We all know what that's from the show. It does have a fabric wrap. It's a nice detail. Little straggler hanging off there. And there's a little weathering on the blade too. Kind of make it look a little dingy. Serrated edge. Flexible plastic. And then the AK-47. Pretty nice. Comes with a sling that you do have to attach. That's the attachment point there, in case you were wondering. It's got a wood grain look to it in the butt of the rifle. Unfortunately, the clip is non-removable, which is kind of a bummer. I mean, that's pretty standard fare for 6-scale figures, but not so much here. And there is one moving part, which is the sight, which does lift up. So all in all, pretty nice, but nothing great. Right, so here he is, kind of all geared up. Got him in kind of the classic poster pose. Another thing that's not included was the stand, which is a real bummer. Could have really used it, even though that particular pose looks difficult. It actually does hold a really good pose. Joints on the figure are really tight, but still could have definitely benefited from a pose. Not a pose, a stand. But really cool looking figure, all posed up. I think he looks really great. Really happy to get him. Price point was about $155. I got him at Big Bad Toy Store. He's available at Sideshow and many other retailers. So compared to Hot Toys prices now, it's kind of refreshing not to have to pay over $200 for a 6-scale figure. Not that he's cheap, but still a reasonable price point for a licensed 1/6 scale figure. I think it's definitely worth the asking price, especially with the head sculpt. Excellent sculpt, excellent paint work. The body that's underneath is a really generic 1/6 scale style body. Joints are really tight, but it's very plain looking. I've seen people are really upgrading to bigger bodies, which probably could benefit the figure. I think I'm fine with the figure as he is stock, but I don't have any problem with someone wanting to upgrade it, which is certainly a nice choice. But I think the figure looks really good, pretty sharp, really happy with the purchase. Coming up next, I'll do a little comparison to some other 6-scale figures just to give you kind of like a height comparison to see how he stacks in against other figures. Stay tuned. Alright guys, just doing a little comparison with my custom Rick Grimes compared to the ThreeZero Rick Grimes. It's a custom I put together several years ago, so sure there's better parts and probably better head sculpts out there now, especially including the ThreeZero, but at the time this was one of the head sculpts going around for Rick Grimes custom. Built this on a Bruce Banner Hot Toys body, which I think was a pretty good option at the time. Came out decent, but does seem to be lacking, especially head sculpt wise. There's a look at that. Compared to the ThreeZero. Surprisingly, the ThreeZero body is a lot taller than the Hot Toys Bruce Banner body. Kind of didn't expect that to be the case. Because one of the, I think the glaring issue with this ThreeZero release is I think the body is a little undersized. Definitely not in height, but comes to really the shoulders being kind of really overly narrow. I mean, you can kind of, he's wearing a jacket, but you know, you can kind of see what I mean in that regard. It's a lot more squared off versus the ThreeZero is a little bit more. In certain poses, he ends up looking like a large head syndrome, but it's down to the skinniness of the body. Obviously, the height is not an issue, which is surprising. I kind of expected it to be shorter, but it's not. It's just I think with the jacket on it, it works. It's not terrible. Also got a problem with the collar sticking up. You could do like a water treatment. I've seen people do. Some people are even gluing it. Not a route I'm going to take, but do need to do something to keep that collar from popping up. But really, I guess what this comparison really shows is how great of a job ThreeZero did on the head sculpt and the figure overall. I think it's a really solid release. But you know, you can see them side by side right there for yourself. And you know, again, this is an older sculpt that was going around a few years ago. I'm sure there's a lot better ones now, but even still, the ThreeZero head sculpt definitely just shows you how far they have come. It's just really good paint work and sculpting. I mean, you kind of bring it in a little closer just so you can get a look at the... I wasn't expecting as gray of a beard as they've portrayed it, because in a lot of pictures and reviews it didn't really show through much, but there's a pretty good amount of gray in there. Which is a really nice detail. But that's it. We'll go on to the rest of the comparisons. Stay tuned. Alright, so here we go with a little comparison to the other two figures in the line. These are the Walker pets, the Michonne's pets from Season 2, Season 3. You can see he stacks in pretty good. He scales in with them pretty nicely. It's nice to finally have a official Rick Grimes figure in the collection. These pets by themselves on the shelf have been pretty lame for a display. I mean, they're nice, but you know, the way they started out the line, deciding to make these pets first, and then leaving the line vacant for 3 years was a terrible start for an excellent license with so many excellent characters available. But now we got Rick. They have Daryl's brother on the way, Merle. Looks really good. I did make some customs. You could check back on my channel to check out some customs I've done of Merle and Rick and Shane, and I bought one of the knockoff style Daryls as well. But it's really good to get an official figure from ThreeZero finally. Way better than the custom that I did, than a lot of the ones knocking about out there in the 1/6 community. I really think the head sculpt is what sells this. The outfit is really well done. The accessories are decent. They're nothing to write home about. But really think it makes a good display piece. Price point is definitely worth it. And it's nice, nice to get them in the collection. So I would recommend picking them up. And again, thanks for watching. Till next time, guys.